You may not be able to do 10x sales overnight, but if you use the law of compounding, you can become 10x better, which will eventually help you help you achieve 10x in sales. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can use the law of compounding. 3 major exercises you need to practice every day as a salesperson that will make you 10 times better in a very short time. My name is Iyore. I've trained over 25,000 salespeople across 5 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. I'm an author of several books and resources on sales, and I've been featured on lots of media platforms to talk about successful selling. I worked in an organization where I was getting a target to sell to 20 high net worth individuals, and I was able to bring in 21 high net worth individuals in a single month. I also participated in a sales competition where I won, and I was sent for the World Cup for another expense paid trip. I moved to another organization where I was able to double my portfolio by over 100% in just 11 months. I'm CEO for Advantage, and our specialty is in Salesforce management. This means I work with CEOs, team leads, to help them optimize sales and get sales results faster and in record time. Now, you can become 10 times better, ladies and gentlemen. When you practice the law of compounding, I used to sell investment solutions many years ago, and when you practice the law of compounding, this would mean that if you put in a fixed amount into a certain investment over a period of time, or you put in efforts in a particular task consistently over a period of time, the output will be the same for a prolonged period, or the output will be the same for a certain period, of which at a certain point it will tip and start to jump and gallop in results. This means it will be like the graph will be moving like this gradually, and all of a sudden it will just go up. Now, at this point where you move consistently, then you tip upwards like this, that's when you start to produce 10x sales. Now, what does it take for you to move upward in the graph till you tip and start to grow tremendously? Of course, there must be consistency. But you see, consistency is not enough. If you're consistent in the wrong activities, there will be no results. You must be consistent in these 3 exercises I'm going to show you now. Now, how do you practice these 3 things? It's not going to be like you going to the gym. It won't be like you saying to yourself, you know what, I want to set the time to practice these things. No. What would happen is, as long as you're not yet closing every sale, it's an opportunity for you to practice these 3 things. So this means every client's engagement, everybody you engage, as long as you didn't close, you want to make sure that in that client's engagement, you take advantage of it to be able to practice these 3 things. So when I say as long as you didn't close, it means that if you didn't close the sale, you want to reflect and check, did I practice these 3 things? Okay, you know what? I missed this one along the line. I'm going to do these 3 things better going forward or in my next client's engagement. And what are these 3 things? Number 1, you must practice what we call need awareness questions. Selling is not talking. Selling is not talking. The more you talk in sales, the less sales you would make. Because you see, you can't sell to somebody you don't know. You can't sell to somebody who doesn't have any need. Marketing and selling are not the same thing. Marketing is creating awareness. You can create awareness to everybody, but you can't sell to everybody. You can create awareness to people you don't know, but you can't sell to people you don't know. And what do I mean by people you don't know? This means you have to hear them out. You have to listen to them first and know where their pain points are. Know where their pleasure points are. Know their needs, their desires, their aspirations. And this can only happen if you ask questions. Now, need awareness questions means when you ask questions to understand your prospects, you need to also ask questions to help them understand the depth of their need and how much that need is costing them. See, the only way you can make them understand the depth of their need is if you put the need, if you convert that need into monetary value. So somebody says, I want to buy, I need, I'm trying to get whatever service or solution you prefer. Question, how long has this need been in existence? Wow. Why have you decided to go after it now? Okay, how much is it costing you from when you realized you had this need till now? How much do you think it has cost you to have not fixed it? If you don't fix it, what do you think it would cost you to get? How much do you think this would cost you? So you're trying to get out the monetary value of this problem. Because you see, when people see a monetary value, to an extent, it creates a certain level of motivation and it helps the buying process. Now, another thing bringing out the monetary value does is the fact that when you identify the monetary value, maybe you agree and you say, oh, it's costing me 5 million. Question, the solution you're preferring, is it up to 5 million in costs? If it's not, or if it's not up to 5 million in cost, it definitely means that, hey, they are going to be spending very little amounts to resolve the problem they are trying to solve. So it's important to ask need awareness questions because this helps you leverage the clients and makes you better at closing. Number 2, second skill you're going to be practicing is called PEC, P-E-C. Passion, emotion, convictions. That's for PEC. You want to practice the PEC concept. The PEC concept means whenever you sell, you want to sell with passion. You want to sell with emotion. You want to sell with conviction. And to sell with passion, emotion, and conviction, you have to know your products. You need to hear your success stories. Where are the stories of people who have been affected and impacted by your products? Where are those stories? Where are those stories that inspire you such that you say to yourself that, wow, this is beyond making money. I'm actually changing the world. I'm making the world a better place. The more you think about your product, and this product knowledge is very key. The more you think about your products and you say to yourself, how is my product changing the world? How is it affecting people? How is it affecting lives? What can my product really do? How far can the impact really go? I remember I was asking someone one day. I said, your property solutions versus medical solutions, which one is changing the world at a faster rate? Someone says medical solutions. I'm like, really? The reason you think it's medical solutions is because with medical solutions, you can see the direct results, impact directly. But property solutions, for example, just as an example, you may not see the direct impact, but you will see the ripple effects. This means you never can tell how far that client's buying that property would go to changing the life of his family. You never can tell how much debt would have been averted because they had a property they were able to sell in time of crisis to be able to come out of an emergency situation. My point is, when we sell from a place of purpose, and that gives us conviction. Now, conviction, passion, emotion, convictions, where are they revealed? They are revealed in your tone of voice. They are revealed in your body language. And that's why you must sell like you are so desirous to bring the person out of trouble. You are desirous to change the prospect's life. When this happens, you find that when you're communicating, you would have done half of the job because of your conviction. Finally, the third exercise you want to practice, making sure that when you go for every client engagement, you don't forget to ask your need and awareness questions. You don't forget to talk with passion, with conviction. Your tone of voice should show that you are, see, the Bible says that Jesus, when he spoke, he didn't speak like the Pharisees and Sadducees. He spoke like one having authority. He wanted to speak like one having authority. And the third point, value communication. When it's time to communicate value, in addition to communicating passion and conviction, you want to arrange the order of your communication. You want to move from primary features into secondary features. You want to start by asking open-ended questions and moving into closed-ended questions. You want to have a systematic communication process. You want to mention the features, then you mention the benefits. So you begin your conversation by asking open-ended questions. A systematic value. From open-ended questions, you listen to the prospects, you understand the prospects. From then on, know what their needs are, ask your need awareness questions. Then, when you've identified this and you put a monetary value to it, you want to now communicate what exactly you're offering. You now start to talking about what you have in common with your competitors, primary features. You're not going to spend time talking about, you're not going to spend too much time on primary features. You run through it quickly because that's what you have in common with the competition. Then you now tell Mr. Prospect, this is what differentiates us. Then you now go into your secondary features. When you go into your secondary features, you talk about it with passion, with conviction, and with details. Hey. There may not be many. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. Your secondary features may not be many, but you talk about it with passion, with emotion, with conviction, and with details. You give them the details about the secondary features. And that's why you want to spend time digesting, dissolving yourself into the secondary features. See, the solutions I sold many years ago for financial institutions, I still remember the features up to now to show you that they got into my skin as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, by the time you're done talking about the features, please don't forget to mention the benefits, right? When you mention the benefits, features talk about what your products can do, benefits talk about how your products can be a blessing or how it can apply to their problems or their situation. And when you're talking benefits, just use the word, just imagine if then you apply the feature in their particular situation. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Please remember to like, share this video with others. If you haven't watched this next video, please watch this next video here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.